ॐ वक्रतुण्ड महाकाय सूर्यकोटिसमप्रभ निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा। सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणी विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। ॐ श्री परमात्मने नमः।
श्री परमात्मने नमः।
अथ द्वितीयोऽध्यायः।
अथ तृतीयोऽध्यायः।
श्रीभगवानुवाच
श्रीभगवानुवाच
having presented the arguments from the standpoint of Atma, Paramartha Atma, Paramartha Drishti, Paramatma Drishti, Paramartika Drishti. Having presented the various reasons, the arguments from the standpoint of Atma, Bhagavan has said very clearly there is no legitimate reason for Shoka. Then from the standpoint of duty, Dharma Drishti, one is Atma Drishti, Paramartika Drishti, that is one. Another one is Vyavaharika Drishti. In the Vyavahara, Dharma Drishti, Dharma Drishtya. From the standpoint of Dharma meaning duty. From the standpoint of duty of Arjuna, being a Kshatriya and a crown or would be crown prince, from the standpoint of his duty, the arguments are being presented that Arjuna should not refrain from waging the war. So, from the standpoint of Atma, there is no legitimate reason for grief, and therefore Arjuna should fight. Then from the duty standpoint also, because this is being a Dharma Yuddha, Yuddha is meant to establish Dharma, therefore he has to fight, and there is no legitimate reason for grief, because it is to establish Dharma. Arjuna is fighting for Dharma. What is the reason? What is the cause for grief here? No. If you are fighting for Dharma, you're fighting to establish Dharma, you should fight enthusiastically. People on the side of Adharma, they fight, they're ready to fight with Utsaha. But what about you? So, therefore, and here Bhagavan said, this Yuddha, it has come upon you by Yadrichaya, and that becomes a means for the entry to Swarga. And if you don't fight and if you withdraw from the war, then you will be a person who has shunned the responsibilities for Dharma, and also because of which you will gain only Akirti. And people will talk all nonsense about you, even though you are a great person, a noble person, and a very valorous, courageous person, warrior, but people will talk all ill of you. They will look down upon you. And they would say that you have run away from the battle out of fear of the enemies. out of fear of the opponents. Seeing Duryodhana and others, you have run away. Iti, people will talk all sorts of things about you. They will look down upon you. Laghavam. Bhutva yasyasi laghavam. Iti we saw in the up to the previous shloka, 35th shloka. Now, in the next shloka, continuing further, Bhagavan Krishna says, let us read the shloka. You can see the transliteration because there is a typo there. Avachyavadhamscha bagun
अवाचवादांश्च बहु
vadishyanti tavahitaha
वदिष्यन्ति तवाहिताः
nindantastavatamartyam
निन्दन्तस्तव सामर्थ्यम्
tato dukkatarannu kim.
ततो दुःखतरं नु किम्.
In this place only you will find the usage of future tense, Lakara, yasyasi, katayishyanti, then avapsyasi, vadishyanti, avachyevadan, bhagun vadishyanti, tava ahitaha, ahitaha is enemies, shatravaha, your enemies, bhagun, more, lot, bhagun, many, avachyevadan, vachya, avachya, that should not be spoken, should not be uttered, unutterable words they will speak about you. Nindantava samartyam tato dukkha tarannukim. Nindantaha, criticizing you, belittling you, they will say so many things which cannot be uttered. It should not be uttered, unutterable, they utter. What could be more painful than that? Tataha dukkha tarannukim for a kshatriya, for a person like you who have decided to run away not out of fear but out of compassion, and that they don't know, and therefore they will say all unutterable things to you. They are not going to praise you. What could be more painful than that? And belittling your prowess, your courage, your prowess, valor. Your enemies will say, Ahitaha. Ahitaha is enemy. Ahi means snake. Ahitaha is enemies. Your enemies will say many unutterable things about you. Avachya padan vadishyanti. They will say, they will talk future tense. Tataha dukkataram kim? Kim? Tataha dukkataram. Is there anything more painful than that? Arjuna's enemies, Duryodhana and the others, would not think that Arjuna went away out of compassion. Being a noble person, having understood the consequence of the war, which is going to be the complete destruction, therefore, if Arjuna had withdrawn from the war out of compassion, will the opponents come to know this and they praise him? No. Will they praise him? No. Even if Duryodhana knew it to be so, he would definitely not say so. He will not praise Arjuna. Simple psychology was involved here. Duryodhana was a ruler, and already there was talk that Duryodhana was occupying the throne illegitimately. The subjects were not happy with Duryodhana on that score. Even though he introduced a lot of welfare schemes to win them over, they knew in their hearts that Duryodhana was just trying to convince them that he was a good person, when in fact he was a usurper and was occupying the throne illegitimately. Everyone knew this. How Arjuna's withdrawal would be perceived if Arjuna withdraws. How would be perceived by the people? Also, if Arjuna were to go away out of compassion, which would have been the case, Dharmaputra would definitely have followed him. Yudhishthira, the elder brother, definitely would have followed him, because without Arjuna, the war cannot be won. Without Arjuna, the result of the war is already will be known to them. Duryodhana will be winning. If Arjuna are not there, then Duryodhana will have complete say. So therefore, Dharmaputra definitely would have followed him if Arjuna had withdrawn. Bhima and others, Pandavas also would have done the same. Therefore, Duryodhana may be victorious without a shot, without a fight, without a shot, without an arrow, without a bullet. Duryodhana would be declared victorious and would definitely not have allowed the news of Arjuna's real reasons to spread, because he would not want the people to look upon Arjuna and the Pandavas as truly great. To allow this to happen would not have been good psychology on Duryodhana's part, because he would have wanted to draw the attention of all his subjects towards himself. As a ruler, he was a person to be looked up, not anyone else. Duryodhana could not afford to have anyone else greater than himself, be looked upon to, be looked up to by the people. His government would fall, and subjects may have started a revolution in an attempt to oust him. Therefore, Duryodhana would see to it that he himself was projected and Arjuna demeaned, belittled. He would say that Arjuna ran away out of sheer fear. Whatever esteem the people had for Arjuna would go, and they would then think that because he ran away from the battlefield, Arjuna deserved to live in the forest. No one would respect such a person, because they knew that Dharma and the Duryodhana would make sure that people would talk. Your enemies will use words about your capacity and courage that are impossible for me to repeat. Avachivada and Bagun Vadishyanti Tava Ahitaha. Therefore, Krishna told Arjuna, what can be more painful than that? Tataha Dukkataranukim. Even the fresh recruits, the simple soldiers would talk. There would definitely be victory parties with a lot of drinking and talking. One soldier would say, Arjuna ran away as soon as he looked at him. Another would say, Arjuna became frightened when he put his hand on his mustache. Another would say that all he had said to Arjuna was, get out, and he fled in fear. Such people would also no doubt talk about Krishna the same way. Having involved Krishna in the battle, Arjuna was now thinking of running away. Everyone would say that Krishna, as Arjuna's driver, ran away too. Thus, Krishna may have said, on the top of everything else, Arjuna, you have also brought me into this mess. So, therefore, Avachyevadan Vadishyanti. Therefore, in the next shloka, further, Bhagavan says, why Arjuna should get up and fight. The reason. Even from the Vyavaharika standpoint, it is said, Arjuna is told her to get up and fight. Let us read. Hato va prapsyasi svargam.
ततो वा प्राप्स्यसि स्वर्गम्
Jitva va bhokshase mahim.
जित्वा वा भोक्ष्यसे महीम्
Tasmaduttishta kaunteya.
मादुत्तिष्ठ कौन्तेय
Yuddhaya krita nischayah.
धाय कृतनिश्चयः
The first line of the shloka is often quoted. Hato va prapsyasi svargam. Jitva va bhokshase mahim. If you lose the war, if you are defeated, you will gain Swarga. If you win, you will enjoy the kingdom. So therefore, anyway, there is no loss. If you win, you get the kingdom, you get the Rajya, and you establish Dharma and rule the kingdom. Prajas also will be happy. So you enjoy all the pleasures of the kingdom, and Prajas also will be happy. So there will be no enemies to you. You can rule the kingdom till the end of your lifespan. And suppose if you are conquered, if you are defeated, if you conquer, you will, if you conquer, you will enjoy the kingdom. Suppose if you are conquered, if you are defeated, then what happened? Then you enter Surga Loka. Having been defeated, conquered, having been killed by the enemy, you go to the Swarga Loka, because for a Kshatriya who fights valorously in the war, and that too fighting to establish dharma, if he dies, Swargadvaram Apavratam, the gate to Swargaloka is open. Therefore, if you are defeated, you will go to Swargaloka. If you defeat them and you conquer them, then you will enjoy the entire Prithivi, Rajyam, the kingdom. Iti. So, Atova Praptyasi Swargam. First line is often quoted. In any way, there is no loss. Losing the battle also is a gain. Winning the battle anyway is a gain. Losing the battle also is a gain only. So nothing is lost. Anyway, there's nothing lost, and always it is gain only. Therefore, uttishta. Hataha, if you are ataha, destroyed, killed. Ataha, if you are destroyed, if you are killed. Prapsyasi, Ritlakara. Swargam prapsyasi, you gain swargam, you will gain swargaloka. Jitva, in case, jitvava, having conquered. If you are destroyed, you gain swargaloka. If you are conquered, jitva, if you conquer, bhokshase magim, you enjoy the earth. Chitva, in case if you win, you enjoy the Prithvi. Bhokshase Mahim, Mahi is Prithvi, Rajyam. Tasma, therefore, Ekonteya, Krita Nishtaya, Yuddhaya Krita Nishtaya. Therefore, you make resolution, have your resolution. You resolve to fight. Don't withdraw from the Yuddha. Yuddhaya Krita Nishtaya, Uttishta. Yuddhaya Krita Nishtaya, son, Uttishta, get up. Nishtaya. Destroyed, you will gain heaven. Victorious, you will enjoy the world. Therefore, O son of Kunti, get up, having resolved to fight. Yuddhaya Kritanishtaya son Uttishta. Here Krishna presented two possibilities to Arjuna. He said, suppose, Arjuna, you are destroyed, Hataha, in the process by Karna's or someone else's arrow. Then you will gain heaven. Prapsyasi, Swargam Prapsyasi. That is the rule. Dharma Shastra says so. Therefore, when you perform your karma and in the process you die, you are not the loser. You gain Swargaloka, you gain Swarga. And after Swarga, you gain a better Janma because you have done what is to be done. So therefore, there is no Papam. If you don't do, then you get Papam. If you don't do what is to be done, then you will be doing what should not be done. And therefore, because of which you gain Papam. But because you did what is to be done, you will gain Punyam only. If you do what is to be done, you will gain Punyam only. Earlier, Arjuna had put forth an argument based on Papa. He had said, I would create confusion in the society. The first chapter he said, Jayate Varna Sankaraha. I will become the person, the author of creating confusion in the society and therefore would commit papam. Here Krishna was telling him that this was not true. Papa would not come to him. In fact, he would gain Swarga. Papa takes one to Naraka. But now, because Arjuna would have died while performing his duty, he would definitely go to Swarga. But anyway, Arjuna cannot die. In the war, he cannot die. Because Krishna is there always with him. How can he die? So, in case if Arjuna dies fighting the war, performing his duty, you definitely go to Swarga. On the other hand, if Arjuna won the battle, having won, Jitva, having won, Bhokshase Magim, you would enjoy the kingdom. Therefore, Krishna said, Jitva va Bhokshase Magim, having won, Jitva, Yuddham Jitva, Bhokshase Magim iti. Either way, he was not the loser. In the kind of battles Arjuna fought, these were the only two possibilities, either death or victory. Those days the wars were fought to the death because there was no retreating from the battle. The men were either victorious or they died in the process. That was a dharma. Therefore, lovingly addressing Arjuna as Kunteya, Krishna said, please get up. Uttishta. Tasmad Uttishta. Therefore, he get up. He asked Arjuna to get up and do what is to be done. Yuddhaya Kritanishchayaha iti. Yeah, Arjuna's duty is to fight. Therefore, Yuddhaya. Asking Arjuna to do what is to be done. Here, what Arjuna has to do, he has no choice. He has come to fight, therefore he has to fight. He asked Arjuna to get up because Arjuna had been sitting in the chariot determined not to fight. And Krishna wanted him to stand up and fight. Telling him to get up was psychological as well as physical. Yes, it is both physical as well as psychological because he was sitting, asking him to get up. And psychological also, get up, give up your wrong thinking, give up your misplaced compassion, get up and do your duty. That's all the get up only. So he told Arjuna to get up, not to run away. But having made a favorable decision to fight, Yuddhaya Kritanashyaha, to either fight the enemy or die. Once he was finished with this argument, Krishna moved on to a more general standpoint. This is general standpoint, Samanya Drishti. Arjuna's situation involved a fight, but because Gita is a Shastram, this situation had to be converted into something that was common, universal. Therefore, Bhagavan says here, the next shloka, let us read 38. Shloka. Sukha dukkhe same krutva
सुखदुःखे समे कृत्वा
labha labho jaya jayo
लाभालाभौ जयाजयौ
tato yuddhaya yujyasva
नरो युद्धाय युज्यस्व
naivam papam avapsyasi.
नैवं भावं न वाप्स्यसि
Sukham cha dukkam cha sukha dukkhe. All are dvandva samasa. Compound. Labham, labha cha, labha cha. Labha, labho. Jayaha cha, ajayaha. Jaya, jayo. With regard to all these pairs of opposites, dvandva, pairs of opposites. Same krutva. Treating them as same. Tataha yuddhaya yujyasva. Yuddhaya yujyasva. Treating everything as same. You resolve to fight. Therefore, by that, papam na avapsasi, you will not gain papam. Taking pleasure and pain, gain and loss, victory and defeat to be the same. Yuddhaya, you just prepare for the fight, battle. Thus, you will not incur any sin, any papam, not sin, papam. Taking pleasure and pain with equanimity, as though they are one and the same. That is the seed for karma yoga. Sukha dukkhe same krutva, labha labho jaya jayo same krutva. With that equanimity of the mind, that is karma yoga. The same applies to gain and loss, victory and defeat, success and failure. Now, karma yoga is going to be the next topic. Therefore, as an introduction to that, this shloka comes. Krishna sowed the seed here and discussed it later. The whole Gita is based on the psychology of ragadveshas, likes and dislikes. Ragadvesha are the known causes for our sorrow. There may be 100 unknown causes, but they all can be reduced to raga and dvesha. Raga and dvesha. Karma Yoga was being propounded here by Krishna, who said in so many words, don't fight for the sake of Raga Dvesha. So Raga is like, Dvesha is dislike, aversion, likes and dislikes, attachment and aversion. Raga for the things which are desirable, Dvesha for the things which you don't desire, which you don't want. So Raga Dvesha. And that is what Karma Yoga, dealing with Raga Dvesha is what Karma Yoga is all about. Therefore, here, Karma Yoga is going to be the next topic. As a bija shloka, this shloka comes. Same krutva, samatvam yoga uchyate. That is Karma Yoga. So therefore, don't fight for the sake of raga or dvesha. We should not fight just because we don't like someone, or we should fight just because we like to fight. So raga dveshas are not involved here. Then what is involved? Dharma and adharma. Arjuna was not fighting out of spite, whereas Duryodhana was fighting because of raga and dvesha. Is raga for the kingdom and dvesha for the Pandavas. He has got extreme raga, liking for the kingdom, the pleasures, and extreme dvesha for the Pandavas. So therefore, he is fighting because of raga dvesha, motivated by raga dvesha. But what about the Pandavas? Pandavas, in fact, they wanted to have the relation, their brothers, cousin brothers, that maintain the brotherly relation, but Duryodhana was not ready. Therefore, no raga dvesha involved on the side of Pandavas, only dharma and adharma. So, therefore, Arjuna or the Pandavas did not come to fight out of raga for the kingdom or dvesha for Duryodhana. It is to establish dharma. It's only the question of dharma and adharma. Duryodhana as a raga for the kingdom and dvesha for the Pandavas. Yes, that's given here. He had always been jealous of them and could not stand to see them ruling. Thus Krishna acknowledged that Duryodhana was fighting out of Ragadveshas, whereas Arjuna must fight against Ragadveshas, not motivated by Ragadvesha. Should fight for Dharma, fight to establish Dharma against Adharma, fight against Adharma. Krishna also told Arjuna that in fighting this war, in reality, that he was not fighting against Duryodhana, he was fighting against the Ragadveshas. Therefore, the battle was one of Dharma Adharma. Do what is to be done. That is Karma Yoga, Krishna said. Here, because what was to be done happened to be a fight, he said fight. Because Arjuna was doing Swadharma and Swadharma is being fighting, therefore Krishna assured him, you would not incur any papam. Na evam papam avapsyasi, because you are doing your duty. In the duty, if you happen to kill people, then also you will not incur papam. Because you are not fighting out of Ragadvesha, you are fighting to establish Dharma. And therefore, papam na avapsyasi. In fact, by performing this action, you would gain only punyam and not papa. It's a vision, it's a clear thinking. What Arjuna said in the beginning was, killing these people, he will incur papa, he said. But Krishna says, no, you will not incur papa. In fact, you will incur punyam only, no papa. There was confusion in the mind of Arjuna that is being cleared by Bhagavan here. To fight this battle was to uphold Dharma so that Ragadveshas would not rule. This then is the entire psychology of the Gita. Let Ragadveshas not be the deciding factor. Let the sense of right and wrong prevail in its place. Dharma and adharma. Let the sense of what is to be done and what and not to be done be the deciding factor. Then you become a yogi, as we shall see later, karma yogi. Taking the opposites, dvandvas, pleasure and pain, gain and loss, victory and defeat as the same, they are not same. As the same means whatever may be, but doing what is to be done. That is what same. Striving to do what is right and thereby incurring no papa is what karma yoga in seed form, bija rupa, planted here in this shloka. Later in this chapter and elsewhere in the Gita, Krishna picks it up again. So samatta buddhi with regard to what is to be done, he has got samatta buddhi, neither raga nor dvesha. Because it is dharma, it is done. That is called dharma paripalan, doing what is to be done. That is the attitude a karma yogi has, and that is what karma yoga is all about. When we say karma yoga, there is no raga dvesha. So, therefore, Krishna talked to Arjuna mainly about Atma previously, saying that Atma is something whose nature is very existence and that is not subject to death and so on. In fact, he taught the Arjuna the Swarupa of Atma, and that is called Sankhya Jnanam, meaning both Brahma and the knowledge of Brahma, Sankhya. The Jnanis who have this knowledge of Brahma are called Sankhyas. In the next shloka, Krishna tells Arjuna that thus far he talked about Sankhya, that is 11 to 30th shloka, and 31 to the previous shloka 38. He presented arguments from the standpoint of his duty and from the Samanya Drishti. And now, having talked about the nature of Atma, and now he would elaborate upon Karma Yoga, which had been said only in the seed form in the previous shloka. In this way, he introduced two different topics of the Gita Shastra, Sankhya Yoga or Jnana Yoga, and Karma Yoga, which is going to follow. Because this is such an important section of the Gita, therefore Shankaracharya comments upon it in some detail. So 39th shloka is the transition. That is topic shifts from Jnanam to Sankhya Yoga to Karma Yoga. The shloka 39, we'll see in the next class. Om Purnamadah Purnamidham Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Raga and Dvesha can be translated as raga is liking for undesirable things. Dvesha is liking for, dvesha is hatred for desirable things. You take the raga and dvesha. If raga liking for desirable things, then it's not a problem. And dvesha for undesirable things, then it is not a problem. Then what is to be done? If it is so, then it can be done happily. But when it is other way, there only the conflict starts. Anyway, we'll see that later. Dhanyavadaha.